When it comes to big screen flicks, there's nothing more awesome than those creative, spur-of-the-moment improvised scenes. You know the ones.
You talking to me? What?
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
We're talking about words that didn't go out the right way and speeches that are written on set. Get ready for the best improvised acting you have ever seen as we highlight the best scenes created on the spot. This is Ultimate Countdown, Best Improvised Movie Moments. This improvised scene involves real blood, the blood of Leonardo DiCaprio. Number 10 is what happens in Django Unchained when Calvin Candy gets excited.
So Leonardo DiCaprio actually cut his hand in this scene when he broke the glass. So the fact that that's real blood that he's smearing on Kerry Washington's face is it's so disgusting to me, and I think that her reaction is perfect, and just kind of knowing that when I watch the film, it brings it to this whole other level because Leo is so dedicated, he's so meth in this scene, he doesn't even stop when he's hurt.
See, that's a real actor.
Yeah.
Because I would have stopped the scene.
Yeah.
I'd be like, ow, my head is hurt. We have to stop.
Quentin, get in here.
Give me stitches. I'm too pretty for this.
Improvised scenes are not limited to injuries to actors. This scene from Reservoir Dogs, in which Michael Madsen tortures a cop, was also completely improvised. The result is our disturbing entry number 9.
In the climactic moment of Reservoir Dogs, Mr. Blonde tortures a police officer, and he gets out his straight razor and cuts his ear off. Now, Quentin Tarantino, who's a pretty twisted guy, had not actually written anything past that. He just thought cutting the ear off was enough. But Michael Madsen, who's also a pretty twisted guy, improvised from there. He held the ear and he started talking into it. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? What's up? What's up?
It shouldn't come as a surprise this improvised scene made our list. With its humor and rough violence, this unconventional wise guy scene made for a hell of an improvised moment.
Oh, I make you laugh? I'm funny? I'm funny to you?
A clown?
I'm a clown?
In at number 8, it's the Am I Funny scene from Goodfellas.
Joe Pesci told Scorsese, the director, about having this situation like with somebody who was in the alleged mob, telling somebody that they were funny, and he had this interaction so that when you get to Goodfellas, he did it. He was like, do it. Scorsese's like, just do it. You improvise it, Joe. So Joe Pesci improvised the hell out that scene.
Yeah.
Because the fear is real. People are like, oh, you crossed the line with Joe Pesci's character.
Often considered one of the most successful franchises of all time, it's no wonder an Indiana Jones improvised moment made our list. At number 7, that's right, you guessed it, the sword scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Or how convenient it is to have your leading star with diarrhea.
In Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones is confronted by a master swordsman who is spinning his sword all around and menacing, ready for a sword fight. Now, the script called for an epic sword battle between Indy and the swordsman, but Harrison Ford had gotten food poisoning the night before, and he really couldn't handle a sword fight.
So he suggested to Spielberg that he just pulls out his gun and shoots the guy. So all those sort of weeks of rehearsing, all of it went out the window, and of course this scene became incredibly iconic for the series.
This scene gave new meaning to walks on the bow of cruise ships.
I'm the king of the world!
Sailing in at number 6, the moment in Titanic in which Leonardo DiCaprio takes over the world.
I guess when you're standing at the head of that amazing ship, even though it might have been mostly CG, you kind of do feel like king of the world. And only Leo could really pull off that line. Like, you just loved that character.
It also became the tagline for that movie. James Cameron, after winning the Oscar for Best Picture for Titanic, held it up and said, "I'm the king of the world!"
I'm the king of the world!
From a guy who gets the girl with a walk in a cruise ship to a guy who gets the girl with a diamond necklace.
Ah, you took it away. You all know I'm a prostitute.
In at number 5, the improvised closing box scene in Pretty Woman.
With this scene in Pretty Woman, you can see the exact moment that Julia Roberts became a movie star, because the veil between her and Vivian just completely falls away. It was a completely improvised moment that Richard Gere kind of closes the jewelry case in her hand. And so it's almost like she breaks character, except she doesn't, because there's kind of no difference between her and the character. And she's so just like adorable and charming and self-effacing, and she has this huge laugh. I think that everyone in the audience just completely fell in love with her in that moment.
If you still remember Johnny Carson and his intro line, "Here's Johnny,"
Here's Johnny.
then watching Stanley Kubrick's The Shining won't be easy. In at number 4, it's Jack Nicholson's improvised line.
So The Shining, of course, one of the scariest horror movies ever, and Jack Nicholson just embodied this madman that he became in the movie. And of course, the scene where he is wielding the axe and he's chasing after Shelley Duvall's character and his son, and she's locked in a bathroom, she's got her knife and she's ready to pounce if she has to, and he's knocking down the door with the axe and he sticks his head through and he says, "Here's Johnny."
This improvised scene is so original, it forced the director to buy the rights of the music that the actor sings in it. Singing its way to number 3, it's Alex's rapping scene in Clockwork Orange.
One of the most disturbing and incredibly violent scenes in the film was just off the cuff. Stanley Kubrick wasn't happy with the way that the home invasion scene was going, and he asked Malcolm McDowell, "Can you sing or dance at all?" And the only song that Malcolm McDowell really knew to sing was "Singing in the Rain."
Apparently the first actress quit because like she couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
They hired another actress to do it, and she was like, Stanley Kubrick, Stanley, why we gotta do so many takes?
Yeah.
Because it's obviously incredibly disturbing and hard to do, and I guess there were a ton of takes. I was like, damn, that's working hard for your career.
To end the Kubrick trilogy, we have to bring up Lee Ermey's glorious improvised rant in Full Metal Jacket. Our number 2 is why you should always do what the drill sergeant says.
So R. Lee Ermey was actually a sergeant in the Army, and that's how he knew exactly what he was doing. And in order to prep for this role, I think he had 50 pages of insults written down. That's like Olympic level insulting.
If I'm being yelled at to my face, that would have been, like if I had been in that lineup as he was improvising this whole scene, they would have had to keep yelling cut and been like, Misha, stop crying. Misha, you're in the Army. Stop. I was just like, I know he's yelling really loud. I don't know. He's not on book. I don't know what he's doing this for.
And so we finally get to our number 1. This scene is among the most quotable scenes in film history. A moment of brilliance by Robert De Niro that Martin Scorsese kept in the last cut. At number 1, the taxi driver scene, when Travis Blickey realizes someone is talking to him.
You talking to me? What?
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
You talking to me?
It's terrifying.
Yes.
Right? The scene is terrifying. It shows you so much about the character. It becomes even more terrifying when you find out that he improvised that.
Yes.
That means he made it up.
That was living inside of Robert De Niro.
Not Travis Bickle, but Robert.
During the mirror scene, the script simply says, Travis talks to the mirror. But Robert De Niro, who had built up this irrationality, this psychopathy that was inside of Travis, just let fly and started going nuts. You talking to me? You talking to me? And then rips his gun out. But that is what Travis would do in that moment, in that scene.
Did your favorite make the cut? This is Ultimate Countdown, Best Improvised Movie Moments.